Hello everybody, welcome back. As I promised earlier, we're going to do the practicals for session 3 today. And we are going to start by creating a new project in NetBeans. So let's get File, New Project. Now this is the NetBeans 11. If you're using NetBeans 8, it's what we have been learning in class. Now for this one, what you do is that you're going to select this option, Java with Maven. Then as usual, you should select Java application, click next, give the project name here. We are going to call this Java. You can call it Java OOP, you can call it Java Prof or Java Professional Programming. It's basically up to you. For brevity, I'll just call mine Java OOP. Then I'll leave these options as default. The next thing I need to do is to set up the company name, and I'm going to use this for your classes. So this will be class specific. If you enrolled in May 2020, then your class code will be 2005 or 2005 and so on. So that is what you're going to enter inside here. And if it's any other class, you can do that. We are going to have this, and the package which you're going to create first will be for session 1. And in session 1, in this particular module, you learned about assertions. So you do that. So com.adsc, the XXX are placeholders. Then says 1. Then what it is that you covered in that particular session. So you write assertions that way. Then you click on finish. Okay, give your computer some time. It will create the application for you. Now, if you look at my top left corner, you can see that my project is created. And if I go to the source packages, you can see my package is created here. Now, you remember you were to cover session 1 and session 2 on your own. So I hope you did that and wrote some of the programs which were there. I'll create the other package for session 2 very quickly. New, then Java package. So this one you covered about java.lang package and regular expressions. So same naming convention, com.adsc, then the class folder, then the session, ses2, then what it is that you covered. You covered java.lang and regex. Remember the package naming convention, everything should be in lowercase. Click finish. Then what it is that you're supposed to cover today, we're going to do that very quickly. New Java package. Then this is com.adsc placeholder. Then Session3, and here we covered collections. So sorry for that, it's supposed to be collections in lowercase. Then click on finish. Now here we're going to create a few applications to briefly recap on what it is that we did inside the collections package. Let's start very quickly. So we're going to start with the list, new, then Java, then Java main class. The name of this class will be called list demo because you're demonstrating the list interface, which is the most commonly used. So just call it list demo. Then come here and click on finish. Give it the ID some time to create this for you. You can remove this auto inserted content. Now you can write what your application is going to do, or this particular program that you are writing. So this is a Java program that demonstrates the list interface and some of its methods. We'll stop. Then you may have this Java doc for the main method, or you may remove it. Now, what we want to do, we are going to create a very simple list, and we're going to create our own list. So let's start by creating a simple list. List, control space bar. I don't want that list. I want the one from java.util. So I'll control space bar again to get the full options. This is what I want. I'll double click. It does the import for me, as you can see up here. Then I want a list of, we can have a list of type string. Then we can use what you had in your slides. There was one which had fruits. Then you instantiate it, new array list. Then you add the fruits. Yes, so we can add apple. Yeah, to save some time, I'm just going to copy paste this code and then make the changes. So this one, we can have the kiwi fruit. We can have the mango. We can have pear. Grape. And the last one, we can have plums. Okay, now we want to display this, and you notice I have a red squiggly underlining array list. So what we need to do is just to fix the imports very quick. You can click on this hint here and add the import for java.util.arraylist, and you notice now everything is okay. Now, if we want to display this, we are going to use the for each loop very quickly. So we want to display. So we come here. You remember the shortcuts. You write for it, then it should autocomplete that for you. So I'll double tap. Okay, fruit. So that is correct. Then shortcut for system.out.println is out. I'll save my work, then run it so that you can see the output. Okay, you can see the list of fruits is displayed here. Now, what about if we want to do something custom? We create some classes and then we display that in a list. That is what we're going to do very quickly. Now, to do that, we're going to create a new package and call it com.classes. So please very quickly come here, new Java package. So com.classes. Now, this is going to be a build-up of something we'll be covering in session 8 and 9. We are going to create a database whereby we'll store information about students, courses, lecturers, and stuff like that, so that we can mimic a real-life project. So to do that, we are going to build our classes a little bit in advance. So we're going to use them now, and we'll also use them then. So I want you to right-click on com.classes, then select new and select Java class. The name of the class that you're creating is called person. Then click finish. As usual, remove this stuff very quickly. Then come here and explain the purpose of the class. So this is a Java class that will be extended. This will be an abstract class, and this class will be extended to create person objects. Okay, so we need to add the abstract modifier here, public abstract class person. Then we write the properties very quickly. So every person has a name, string, names, nationality. Then we are going to have the birth date as a local date. Local date, the person's birth date. We'll do the import. Then the last one will be gender. To make it simple, we're going to accept a single character, either M or F, uppercase or lowercase. Do the import very. Okay. Then we let the IDE create for us these properties and encapsulate them accordingly. So we do what we usually do in class, but just before that, we need to create the constructors. Alt insert to insert code constructor. So the first one will be non-parameterized. So click on generate. This one is not going to accept any arguments. Then the next one is going to accept arguments. So select all. Then click on generate. Okay, we have that. Then very quickly we do the getters and setters to encapsulate this. So come to refactor. Then from here you select encapsulate field. Then you click on select all. Now since this class is going to be inherited, you make the fields visibility protected. So come here, select protected. Then you select where we want to insert the getters and setters. We want to insert it after this second constructor. Click on the drop down and select after person. Then ensure that the accessor visibility for the getters and setters is public. So kindly click on refactor so that the code is inserted for you very quickly. Now you remember how to do the Java doc. I'll just remind you very quickly. So 2 forward slashes, that, tap on enter, then you can fill in this information. So I'll pause the video here and do the documentation very quickly. I don't want to bore you with all the typing. Okay, let's resume. So we have done the documentation. Now the class is okay. We want to extend this class very quickly, and we want to create a student or employee class, whichever you're comfortable with, but we can do both very quickly. So we come back here to the com.classes package, right click, select new Java class. So the name of this one will be called student, then click finish. Very quickly, get rid of this stuff, explain the purpose of your class. This is a Java class that will be used to create student objects, full stop. It extends the person class, and the P is capital. So make sure you take care of that. Then come and do that. Okay. Now there's something we forgot to do in the person class. We need an abstract method here. So let's go back to the person class. So we will have a method that will display the details of every person, but the way they'll be displayed will be a bit different. So let's do that very quickly. Public abstract display details. Okay. Now, so we have this. It's because we need to implement the display details method. We'll take care of it in a bit. So let's get to work first and declare the unique properties for the student. Now for the student has a student number or registration number, or whatever you would like to call it. And the student is pursuing a particular course. You can add other details for the student, like the email and such. If you'd like to do that, feel free. But I want to keep this very simple, so let's do the details for the students. So string registration number or student number, your preference, and then the course the student is pursuing. Create the constructors and the Java doc. Do that very quickly. This will be your challenge. Once you come back, I'll have done it. Okay, let's do it together for this one very quickly. As usual, Alt insert. Constructor. We start with an unparameterized constructor and make sure you call the parent constructor. So click on generate. We have this. I don't know why it refused to do this. Okay, I've already done the first one. Let's do the second one very quickly together. We insert the constructor. So we select this one. Then we select all, both properties of the student. Then click on generate. Okay, we have this. Now, in case of printing, you remember what we talked about. So let's move the line to the next, the access code to the next line of code by tapping on enter. We have the constructor done. Java doc very quickly. Okay, done. We have the Java doc for the constructor. Now we want to do the getters and setters very quickly. Same drill. We pause the video so that we can do this very quickly. Now finally we are done. The last thing we want to do is to implement the method, the display details from the person class. So I'll come and click on this and select implement all abstract methods. And if you scroll down, you'll see that this method has been added. Click here, highlight all the way to the end. Then delete that. Let's write the implementation of this method. Now to spare you or to save on some time, I'll just post the video here, type in the code, then you can come and look at it. All done. Let's quickly explain what exactly is happening here. We have the override annotations. You learned about annotations in session 1. Assertions and annotations. Now, what is happening here is we have the display methods. We are overriding it from the person class. We make a call to the system.out.println method. We call the current object getName method. So we want to display the current student details. So that is going to be joined with that. We have these hyphens or subtract signs. Then we display the student number. Notice now here we're using the printf method. You can use the system.out.printf or system.format, whichever you prefer. We're using formatted output. In every line, we're going to display one of the student's details. So we display the student's number. This will be registration number, the course the student is pursuing, the student's nationality, their date of birth, and finally their gender. And this is going to be done by calling the respective methods to do that. And finally, we output similar output as in line 76. Let's move on. Now we go back to the list demo class. So I'll click on it here. Now we want to create a list of students. List type is student. Press tab to autocomplete. Then they can be students pursuing any course. So we're just going to have Java or OP, then instantiate this using an array list. Then, sorry, we have this red squiggly line, and we're going to correct that. Now, you notice that the student is in the classes package, and this is in the collection package. So we need to do an import very quickly. So you select add import for com.classes.student, and that fixes the error. We can move on very quickly. Now we're just going to do some random data here. Okay, let's just do one, then I'll do the rest. We'll simulate that we're enrolling students, but we'll be calling the add method. So I'll call the second constructor. So give them an admission number of your choice or registration number. Press tab to move on to the next. Course is Java. Name of the student. You can have gender, nationality. Then we call local date. I'll move this to the next line so that you can see this better. I'll call the local date.off method. So .off. Then I start with the year, 1992. Month, you can have it as March or April. Then we can have the date. Everything is okay. Then finally we can have gender, female. And that is how we create an object of the student class. Now I'll pause the video here and allow you to, you can add 3, 4, 5, 6 students just for illustration purposes. Then we are going to display the details later. Now I've added 5 more students. You can have a look at my code, and they are pursuing different courses. Some are pursuing Java Professional, others see programming, and there's one who's pursuing Python machine learning. You can add your own preferred courses. These are fictional records after all. Now the next thing we want to do is to display the details of these students. To do that, we'll call the display method. As usual, for each loop. Now, so that you can see the list of students without the distraction of the fruits, I'll comment out this part of the code very quickly. Control and / adds the comments for you very quickly. Now let's come here and display this. Right click, then run file. You can see the output. I'll double click on this so that we can see the details. So we have Jindo's details, her student number, the course she's pursuing, her nationality, date of birth, and her gender. We move on to Jack Richard's details, all the way up to the details for Tracy Viona and her gender. Now, we want to do further manipulation by calling some of the methods of the list interface. I'll maximize this so that we can continue writing more code here. Okay, now we have the remove method. This is in case some students drop out of the course. So we can simulate that. So we're going to remove Jack Richards. Jack Richards is going to drop from the Java Professional Programming course. So he's at index 1. Remember, we start from 0. So Jack Richards should be 1. Then we're also going to remove John Wick. I think he has to concentrate more on acting. John Wick is the 4th student, so this should be position 3. Then this should be removed, not returned. Now, after doing this, we need to display the size of the number of the students left. We will So we join this with the size of the list. Now, okay, so that's going to display the size. Then you can enroll more students if you like. So I'll pause the video here and enroll more students. To do that, just copy paste a few of these, then change the details. This goes up to here, Control C, then Control V to paste, then make the edits. So I'll pause the video and make the edit. All done. Now we are going to display the list of these students, but we're going to do it differently this time around. Remember we said we can display the details either using a for each loop, a normal for loop, or you can use an iterator. Right now we want to do this using an iterator. So we declare the iterator. I'll use Control Space Bar. No, that's not what I want. Control Space Bar again, so that I get the full list. I have the iterator there. Tap on Enter. Then this is for type student. Then I'll just call it stud for short. Then initialize it. I'll create a looping variable so that we can display the students, like student 1. We display the details for Jane up to the last student. So int n will be our looping variable, and we initialize it to 0. Remember, the indexes start at 0. To do this, we're going to use the while loop. We write while. I'll just do that, Control Space Bar. Pick the word proposal. Then that is what I want. I'll tap on Enter. Then I'll remove the auto-generated code. Then I want to display the student number, then the details of the student. Number as in numerically. So I'll sort, then display the details for student. Then we join this with the value of n plus 1. I'll do this in brackets, n plus 1. Go to the next line, then call the display next method. Sorry, the display details method. Stud dot next, then call the display details method. Then finally, we want to display the number of students after the students dropped out and re-enrollment. Final number of classes, number of students in the class. Number of students in the class is. So I'll join this with, and I think that should be enough for list. So I'll comment out the code for the for loop so that we just get to see the details. So the code is commented here. Then now we want to see the last part displaying. I'll right click, then select run file. You can use the keyboard shortcut Shift F6. And you can see this. Let me maximize this so that you can get a better look at the output. Okay, it's displaying from the last part. So the new number of students, that is after the dropouts is 4. Then now you can see we're displaying the details for student 1. This is Jane Doe. Her details are given here all the way to the very last student. Sorry, I forgot something very important. Let's change that very quickly. We forgot to increment the value of n after looping. So n plus plus. Then let's rerun the program very quickly. Yes, now the problem is rectified. And we can see the final number of students in the class is 7. So that is it for the list. Let's move on to something else very quickly. Okay, the next program we're going to write is going to demonstrate the hash set. Let's right click here, new, Java main class. Then you call it hash set demo. Click finish. Clean up your code. Write the purpose of the program. We have the main method beginning program execution. We said that we want to create the hash set. We are going to create a hash set for design students. Create a hash set for design students. Now, this is not the students we had in the previous class. It's just that I want to add or create a hash set of names, and I'll give you an assignment where you will create a hash set of the students from the previous class. Set design class, then you instantiate it equal to new hash set, then you add the students, design dot, call the add method. Our first student will be James, then you can add another student, you can add the name of your friend. Now I'll pause the video here and add more students, so feel free to copy paste, then add more students to this class. So I'll do that very quickly, then once you come back I'll have added and changed. Okay, all done. The next thing is to create a hash set for the programming students. Come here, let's do art students to avoid confusion with the previous class we did. I'll paste this down here very quickly. Create a hash set for art students. Now to do this, I'm going to create an array of strings. Then from there, I will then add or create a new hash set from using the other constructor in this particular class. That is the hash set class. So let's do this. String, then call it art student. Then I add the names. Now some of the students in the design class are also in the art class. So I'll pause the video here and add the names. Okay, all done. Let me maximize this. I can close this or minimize this so that we have more screen real estate. Now, once we do this, we're going to create a hash set from this array of art students. So we write a comment of what we want to do. Create a set from the art class string array. Set art class equals new hash set. Then open the brackets. Then you call the arrays dot list method. Arrays dot, then as I press tab to have it completed. Then I use the art student. Okay. Then the next thing I would like to do is to create a hash set of all the students in the campus. To do this, we are going to use the add all method. So the first thing, we create a new hash set. Then after that, we combine the two. So create a set of all students in the campus. Then from here, set all campus students equals to new, then hash set. So I'll start by adding the students in the design class. Then we add all the students in the art class as well. Add all the students in the art class to the campus set. So we have the all campus students. You call it add all methods. It's add all method. Then I add the art students as well. Okay. After this, we would like to display the students in the design class. Now I'm getting an error here. Let me just correct it very quickly. We added the string instead of the set. So this is supposed to be art class, not art students. Okay, let's move on. So we display the students in the design class. I'll use this method. I've not yet created it, so we'll create it in a moment. The method is called display design students, and it accepts an object of type set design. Now, this method will be underlined because it doesn't exist. We'll also create one to display the programming students. Now, inside these methods, what you're going to do is that we're going to display one using the for each loop. Then we're going to display the other one using the lambdas, which is the new approach in Java 8 upwards. Let me make a quick correction here. One of my fingers is moving faster than the other one. Now you can see this is underlined just because it doesn't exist. So let me create the next statement. So this is going to display the students in the art class. Display art students. This is going to accept the art student hash set. So this is art class. Sorry, I don't know why I keep on forgetting this. This is art class. And then we'll have one to display all the students. Display all the students in the campus. Display students. Then this is going to accept the students hash set. All campus students. Now, the idea is going to enable us in doing this. I'll come and click on this hint here. Then create method. Okay, you can see my method is created here. I'll do the same for this one. And finally, this as well. Now let's move. We want to start with this one. We are going to use the old approach that is for the earlier versions from Java 7 and earlier. We can use the for each loop. I'll highlight this code and delete it. To do this, I'll just put a comment to denote what I'm doing. So this is to display the data using a for each loop. Now, just note that this is for earlier versions of Java 7 and earlier. Java 7 and earlier. That is how we went about doing this. I want to use a printf statement, so I'll change the println to a printf. The design class, I want to output the number of students in the design class. Design class has percentage d students and their names are, so we'll start displaying the names in a new line. I'll join this with the size method. Okay, then we do the for each loop very quickly. I'm quite sure you remember how to do that. FORE, control space bar, then I'll enter. Then south, this is remove this, then that is the variable we've been given. We're going to output each of that. The next method, very quickly, this one is going to use lambdas. This is going to be done using functional programming, which is available from Java 8 onwards. I'll highlight that, tap on the delete key, or I can overwrite immediately. Display the details of the art students using functional programming. Functional programming. So as usual, we have that. I'll change this to a printf statement, then write out the rest of the code. The art class, we want to start by outputting the number of students in that class. The art class has percentage d students and their names are. Now the reason why I'm doing this is to enable you to work with the earlier versions and the newer versions. Choose whichever you're comfortable with. They do the same thing. New line, then this is art class. Sorry, forgot the comma. This is art class dot size. Call the size method or invoke the size method. Then we come here and art class. Then for each, you can call it art student name or whatever it is that you'd like to call it, at student, enter. So what I'll do here is use a lambda, come down here, open the curly braces or curly brackets, then use out, sorry, I need to tab this, you output the at student. Then you need to close here. Just give me one moment, I check the problem here. Yes, we misspelled this. Let's see what another problem could be. We need two opening brackets here, so kindly note that. Now everything seems to be okay. This should work. The last thing we want to do is to display all the students. This one will use an iterator, and I highlight and overwrite. So this is going to display the details of all the students in the campus. We come here, we declare an iterator. You remember what we did from the last lesson. It's not giving us what we want. We control space bar again. I want the iterator. Click on the iterator. Then I call this all students. Then I call the all campus and get an iterator from it. All campus students dot iterator. Then use a south. I'll change this to a printf statement. You can also use format, that's the same thing. Then we can write the entire campus has, we output the number of students in the campus and are. Now I need to add a space here for the output to be done properly. We do this in a new line. So this is going to be all campus students, call the size method. Then as usual, we use the while loop. While I'll pick the third variation, tap on enter, and it picks everything for me correctly. So I'll just tap on enter, remove the suggested code, overwrite, remove the quotes, and complete this using all students, enter, then call the next method. This will display the students for us. Now we are done with this, and we can now display the output. So I'll right click on the file and select run file. Let's go from the beginning. So looking at the design class, let me scroll up here. You can see we have these 14 students. So the design class has 14 students and their names are given below. Then for the art class, we have 10 students and their names are given below here. Now, notice that some of the students in the art class are also in the design class. And instead of having 24 students, the hash set is clever enough to figure out the duplicates and remove them or filter them out. So you notice now we have 19 students instead of 24 students, and the names of all the students are given here. Remember, we talked about other methods which you can actually sort these details in the set. You can sort them in ascending or descending. Kindly see how you can add that functionality here. You could add a method to sort, or you can find out from the Java doc how to go about that. It's pretty simple. Now, as I promised, I'd like you to do a small assignment here. So I'll write what is expected, or challenge, whatever you'd like to call it. So the first one, create a hash set of the students from the com.classes package. Number 2, add sorting and implement it. At least that should be enough for now. Remember, control / to comment this out. So this will be your challenge for the hash set class. Let's do one more or two more. We want to look at the hash map. So please add a new class, a Java main class, and call it hash map demo. So I'll pause it, and when you come back, you'll find me having done all the setup for the program. We are going to start typing from creating and instantiating the map. I just want to see if you can get the hang of what it is that we are doing. Now we are done. I've created the class, done the documentation of what the class is going to do. We've created the name of the class. It's called HashMap Demo. Then we have the main method beginning program execution. Without further ado, let's get coding. We're going to create a map of numbers and strings. So map control spacebar. This is what I want to use, the one from java.util. Double click on that. Then it's going to have, the key is going to be an integer. Then the values will be strings. And it's going to be, let's just use fruits. That was what was in your slides. We'll call it fruit map. Then we instantiate it. Hash map. That is what I want. Hash map diamond operator. Then we populate the fruit map with elements or fruits. Now, I'm not going to do this sequentially because the hash map is intelligent enough to know how to figure this one out. Fruit map, I call the put method. So I'll add at position 5, press tab to go to the actual value. So inside here, I'm going to add the avocado, and we seem to be having a problem here. I forgot the new keyword. Sorry for that. Next. Now, I'll pause the video and add more fruits. So feel free to highlight this and add fruits at random locations. Control Z, then come here and Control V a number of times. Then I'll change this. So I'll pause the video here. You add some fruits that you like, then we'll take it from there. Add about 10 or so fruits. We would like to display these fruits which we've added, and we're going to use the same logic we used in the previous class. Then write a comment of what we want to do. Display the current. The reason I'm saying current is because we're going to make some modifications to it. Contents of the fruit map. So we use a method which doesn't exist. We'll create it briefly. Then we pass to it the fruit map. Then after that, we want to display the fruit at a given location. We join this with the fruit at that location. Fruit map dot, we call the get method. We pass in 5 as the number. Then we remove the fruit at a given position. We want to remove and display the fruit which is removed. Remove and display the fruit at a given position. So I'll declare the object of type string and call it removed fruit and assign it to the fruit which we want to remove. You can pick any number. Then we call the remove method. Then we tell the user the fruit which you have removed. So we join this with the fruit that is removed. Okay. We can replace the fruit at a given key or position. Okay, replace the fruit at a given key or location. So string fruit. So this is the fruit which we want to replace. Fruit to replace. Then this is what we want to get the fruit at position 8. This is going to be the strawberries. We want to replace them with blueberries. Then now we do the actual replacement. Fruit map. Then we call the replace method. We go to key number 8 and replace this with blueberries. Tap on enter. Then we display the removed and replaced fruits. So we come here. You can use a format or printf statement. The removed fruit is, sorry, I meant a printf. This is going to be %s for the fruit which has been removed, and the replaced is, so we display the fruit which has been removed. Okay, so we join this with 2, both of them. So this is a removed fruit. The other one is fruit to replace. Okay, seems to be okay. Let's move on. Then finally, we will display the modified fruit map, and we are going to use a custom method to do this. Output, then fruit, then you pass in the fruit map, lowercase. Now let's create these two methods which don't exist. We are going to use the IDE's capabilities. We come here, we tell it to create this method, then we do the same for this one. Okay, so I'll triple click here, then overwrite. So this one is going to use functional programming. So we display the map elements using functional programming. So commenter, we need to tell the user what it is that we are doing. Display the content of the map using, okay. And kindly remember that this works in Java 8 upwards. Okay. We use a format or printf statement, whichever you're comfortable with. So to display this formatted properly, I'll use the width specifiers -5s, percentage -5s, sorry for that, percentage -5s, then percentage minus, same here, this is 5s, then we are going to output, so the first one is for the key, the other one is for the value. So this is the key, then the other one is the value, sorry, semicolon. We come down here, map, we're using this fruit map variable. No, I want fruit map, yes. Fruit map dot key set, then as we did earlier on, we call the for each. Then we create a variable called nums for the numbers, okay. Then remember, to avoid that error we had earlier on, we have to do this. Then we have this, the lambda, open the curly braces, okay. Let's continue typing. So we create two variables of type string key, then the value. That is now what is going to be used up there. And sorry, I forgot something here. That's what I'm saying. I forgot something. That's why your code is underlined here. We need to put this in brackets. The key, then the value. Delete this. Should be in quotes as well. Okay. We continue. We are going to retrieve the key, this nums variable. Then we call the toString method. Then we're going to get the value, fruit map. Then we call the get. We get the value at the location of the current number. Okay, then now you output this. I'll highlight this and copy very quickly to spare some time. So Control C, come down here and paste. Then this is going to be a lowercase and remove the quotes as well. Then this is going to be lowercase v and remove the quotes which are here that way. This is going to display for us the details, and it's actually going to work. And make sure after each of these you append a new line. Now the next method, let me just format this properly. Same drill. Now this one, the output fruits method, we are going to use code for Java, the earlier versions of Java. We're going to use a normal for each loop. We come here, display using, and of course this is for Java 7 less than Java 8. So that we'll use the same variable. So this object, will call it, this time round it didn't get this right. We're going to use an integer and we call it nums, like the above. Then This is going to be fruit map.keyset. Then we come here. You can copy paste this code rather than typing it all over again. So I'll highlight this code very quickly. Control C to copy, then come here and insert it. And it should display the details for us. Now, what you can also do is, you can do that and you call the strings.format method. String.format. Okay. That. Then remember to balance the brackets or parentheses. Should give you the same output like what it is that we have here. Now our program is complete. Let's give it a test run very quickly. So I'll save it. The program seems to have a small error. Let me fix it. No, it's gone. I think it's the ID which had a small bug. Okay, let's run our program very quickly. Shift F6. Okay, so this is the original fruit set. So key 2, we had the kiwi, we had the pineapple, avocado, and I need to change this. So I need the \n somewhere. Let me fix this very quickly. This is here, so I can do a \n immediately after this. That is what is causing that error. Sorry for that. Let me run it again very quickly. Okay, so you can see we have the key, then the values, and you notice that these are ordered using the natural sort order. You notice the way we added them, they were added in some random order. 5 to that way. The last one to be added was the lime fruit. But when they're being displayed according to the natural ordering. Now, we display the fruit at location 5, which we added first, that is the avocado. And then we removed the fruit at position 6, that is the lime fruit. And then basically we replaced, okay, what I'm saying is that we removed the lime fruit at position 6, and we also replaced the strawberry at position 8 with the blueberry. Then we display the fruits once again, this time using the for each loop. So we have the grape, the kiwi, the pineapple, avocado. Now you notice 6 is missing because we have removed it. Then position 8, you notice we've swapped. You can see position 8 here is the strawberry, and you notice here it's the blueberry. So I think that will be enough for today. The last thing I would like you to do is an assignment. I've already typed it for you. So I'll put it here in the main method very quickly. So I want you to do a student map, and let me just show you what is expected. And of course, you can write a display method to do this. So this will be the name of the variable, student map. It will be type map. So you'll be adding the students to particular integer positions, and then the data type will be of type student. Student from com.classes, and you can add this. So please add about 5 students. Add about 5 students and create a method to output or display the details. Now, I'm going to do one more, but I'm going to post it on GitHub. I'm going to write code for the array deck, and I would like you to have a look at it and spend some time to understand what exactly is happening there, so that you can get a good comprehensive understanding of how to work with the Java collections. Thank you. Nice time and God bless.